All right. Okay, here we go. Hey, Angela. Thank you so much for taking the time today to come and talk with me. I know how difficult it can be to make a decision to seek help, and I hope our time today will provide you with, some clarity and some, something to point you in the right direction. Before we start today, I need to speak to you about confidentiality. You can be sure that everything we speak about will remain between us, although there are exceptions to this. I cannot ensure confidentiality under the following circumstances: if you intend to harm yourself, if you intend to harm another person, if you or myself has a strong reason to believe that I or any of my colleagues or anyone else may be at risk of harm based on the information that you've provided in your session today, if there is a reasonable suspicion that a child, that's anyone up to the age of 16, is at risk of emotional and or physical neglect or emotional, physical, and or sexual abuse. We are required by law to report this to the Children's Aid Society immediately. Excuse me. If you are involved in a court case and the judge thinks that counseling is relevant to the case, your file might be subpoenaed. And finally, if you have a complaint about a regulated health professional, so that's a doctor, a nurse, a psychologist, chiropractor, and so on and so forth, with respect to the inappropriate, in respect to their inappropriate sexual behavior, towards you, and you provide me with that individual's name, I am required to report this complaint to their regulatory body. So College of Doctors, Nurses, et cetera, et cetera. This seems like a lot of information, I know, but the overarching theme here is that you are pretty free to speak your mind and know that this is a safe space. There are no judgments, and I am not here to tell you what to do. We're here to work together so you can get yourself to a place where you don't have to feel bad and you can kind of move forward or start to move forward. I know that we're going to talk about some things that will be challenging. And if there's something that you are not ready to talk about, please let me know. It's also okay to take some time to respond. Silence can be very helpful, and I don't want you to feel as though you have to rush. Do you have any questions or concerns about what I've just said? Do you need me to clarify anything?
No, I understand.
Great. So, how's it going?
Well, I'm here.
And I am very happy that you are. I appreciate that it is hard to come into an environment like this with a complete stranger. So, why don't we just start with what's brought you in today?
I've been having a lot of panic attacks lately, and I've never had them before, and I don't know what to do or why they're happening.
All right. So, you're feeling a bit concerned about panic attacks and that they came on suddenly. What can you tell me about them? How can you be certain that's what you're experiencing?
I didn't know what was happening at first. I just remember my chest getting really tight. I couldn't, like, I felt like I couldn't breathe, uh, like I was having a heart attack. I went to the hospital, and that's where they told me what it was.
That must have been very scary. When did this first happen?
I'm not sure, about 3 months ago or so.
Okay, and how often are they happening?
It feels like it's all the time. I don't know, but they do happen a lot now.
Okay. I'm sure it's been very difficult and very scary to have something like that happen. Do you have any idea why, like, why do you think these panic attacks might be happening? Is there something that maybe stands out in your mind?
My husband has been threatening to leave me, so that might have to do with it.
Yeah, okay. Well, that is something that would certainly cause some distress. If you don't mind getting right into it, why do you believe that he would want to leave?
He says that I drink too much.
Okay. Do you not agree with that statement?
I think he's overreacting a little bit.
All right. Well, let's talk about that. What makes you think that he's overreacting?
I always feel like really stressed out after my work week, and I like to go out with friends and unwind, and maybe he's just jealous that I can do that and he can't or won't. I'm not sure. Who knows?
Okay. Has he ever expressed that kind of thought or feeling to you before that he's jealous?
He's never said those words, no, but he's always saying that the kids want to see you or you have responsibilities around here. I mean, I go to work so much and then have to do things for the kids and around the house. And when is it time for me to go out and do things?
Yeah. I can certainly appreciate the need to have some downtime. I mean, after a long week, we all feel the need to unwind. But do you think maybe your husband is expressing his concerns for the children, perhaps?
I mean, what kind of concerns? They have everything they could ever need.
Right, and I'm sure they are well provided for, but perhaps he's worried that they're missing out on quality time that they may not get during the week. You know, Monday to Friday is such a busy time. You got school, kids got school, you've got work, and we may sometimes forget that the quiet quality time is what's really important. Do you think maybe he's trying to tell you that he and your children would like some of that quiet quality time with you?
I don't know, maybe.
All right. Well, how often does he go out with his friends?
Never really. Once in a while, if there's a concert or a birthday, but that's it really. He's always home with the kids.
All right. And when you're out on the weekends, like how much would you say that you consume?
A lot recently. I have been blacking out lately.
Oh, okay. So what does a blackout moment look like to you? Like when you come to, do you know where you are?
I'm usually at home in bed, but I don't remember how I got there. And in the morning, I have to hear about it, and I'm barely awake, and Mark is giving me a hard time.
Okay. And what does a hard time look like?
He says that I was so irresponsible, that he was worried about me, the kids shouldn't see you like this, things like that.
Okay. And do you think that he is trying to give you a hard time, or is it maybe that he really is worried about you and what you're experiencing? Have you talked to him about what you've been feeling or experiencing?
No,
Nothing at all. Um, is he aware that you're having panic attacks?
he knows about the first one I've had, but I haven't told him about the others. He knows about the first one because I went to the hospital.
Oh, okay. And what have you been doing when you've experienced the other panic attacks?
Well, I've been at home or I've been at work
Okay.
before Mark gets home.
Okay, so you're home with the children. Okay. Um, is there a reason you haven't told him?
I guess I just don't want him to worry.
Okay. Well, it's hard sometimes to have to share those kind of things with our loved ones. Um, you always have to wonder what they're going to say or what they're going to think. But you've mentioned to me that your husband, Mark, has in fact expressed some concerns over how much you drink and what happens when you do. Do you think it's fair to say that he would also be concerned and perhaps want to maybe help?
Well, but he says that he will leave me.
Right. Well, let's try to look at it from his perspective. So he's working as much as you do. He's taking on the kids just like you do. You know, he's picking up the slack, if you will. So Do you think this is maybe his way of saying, I want I want to talk to you, I want to help you, what can I do to help you? And maybe that's just him reacting to what's going on.
It could be that. I'm not quite sure, but it sounds like that could be the case.
Okay. Well, I think there's some things that we can definitely work towards. I mean, you've mentioned that you think that he wants to leave you and that you think he's jealous, and I think it's important that we try to stop all those negative thoughts before they progress into something else. So maybe for your first kind of homework assignment, if you will, and something that you can work on until you come back, is something called thought stopping. And this is where you try to consciously stop a negative thought as it's coming out. So if you're thinking that Mark is jealous, you stop that thought in its tracks and try to replace it with something more positive. Like, so Mark is jealous. Okay, no, 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 hold on. Mark is just a little more concerned for me, I think. Do you think that's something you could give a shot over the week?
Yeah, I think I could give it a shot for sure.
Okay, cool. So let's touch base next week and we'll see how that goes for you.
Okay,
Sounds good.
sounds good.
Sounds good.